Hello, Tim here, and welcome to my review of attendee paintings from my May workshop, where we painted this beautiful scene in Polperro Harbour. More on that in a moment. Once a month, then, I select challenging subjects for watercolour. Could be a landscape, street scene, or seascape. And then over a couple of hours or so, via a live demo, I do a step-by-step process, taking you along the way. You can paint along with me as well. These online sessions are fairly interactive. You can, of course, get to ask me any questions as we go along, and also attendees can come on screen at the end and share to everyone, all those that are attending live, what they've been up to. And also, we create, or I create, this video at the end of it as well to share everyone's paintings and give my review. So I'm shortly going to go through a bit of a more in-depth review of the paintings from the workshop. I'll talk about what I really like in each one, maybe suggest a few tweaks, see if we can spot any creative elements as well on each other's paintings. Also, remember that these paintings were done by people at all different levels, and we have representation of different levels and skills of watercolor, some quite professional, others just starting off on their watercolor journey. So please bear that in mind. And also, the paintings are taken, the photos of the painting are taken by the individual attendees. So there'll be different lighting conditions, different devices, different resolutions as well. So just bear that in mind as well. Now, if you do fancy joining one of my workshops in future, then all the details can be at my website, timwilmotartist.com, and also at the event website, which is crowdcast.io/@timwilmot. We've got some great sessions coming up, and everyone's welcome, whatever your level. A quick review then of the scene. Polperro Harbour. We're looking almost into the sun. The sea is just where my cursor is there. That's the mouth, that's the opening of the harbour there. We're looking at a various range of different boats in front of us. There's also buildings, mainly on the right-hand side there. So perspective is going to play a big part in this, trying to get the perspective of those rooftops. The harbour wall itself, this is the harbour wall, that's pretty much horizontal. That's the right-hand side of the harbour. Then there's that gap, the opening of the harbour. Then on the left-hand side, we've got the left-hand side of the harbour. We've got some nice reflections to deal with as well. The complexity, the challenge of those distant boats. There's a grouping of boats over there, and then some boats over there. Two main boats towards us, a little white boat with a blue cabin, catching the light, and quite nice, sat there almost at low tide. I think this is pretty much low tide. And then a bigger boat here with a figure, a big white boat, again casting a nice shadow across the ground. Lovely light hitting the shoreline here, and then some seaweed and debris and little stones and chippings. There's a retaining wall here. On this left-hand side is actually a stream coming just below us from up the hill, going into the ocean. So a nice bright sunny day. Let's see what the different attendees can make of this scene following my live demo, and let's see what they can make of it, and the capturing the perspective of the scene, making the boats look realistic, getting in some figures, and maybe adding in some creative elements as well. First, my painting from the live workshop, which I think I pretty much captured that view of the harbour. We're looking into the sun, the light hitting the harbour wall there, mainly the buildings on that right-hand side, in the shady walls, but the rooftops catching the light, that Cornish slate catching the light. Then those distant boats there, group number one, group number two, slightly closer to us than these two main boats. I introduced a figure coming down into the scene. There was a figure working there on the boat. I do think a few of attendees have caught that. And then there's that retaining wall going down the middle, and then the stream coming out with the water coming out from below us. And then those soft reflections, nice sort of still calm conditions in the harbour, giving us some nice soft reflections. Yes, I'm pretty pleased with that. I think I captured the scene, the light, the lovely Cornish light, and all of those beautiful boats in this pretty much iconic harbour. As I go through the attendees pages, this is the first one. We'll talk about Andrews in a minute. So I'm going to be looking at composition and perspective of the buildings, then realistic boats capturing the light, the shadows across the scene, the shade of the shadows across the scene, maybe any creative element, your own little spin that you've put on it as well. So let's see that as we go through them. So first off, then Andrew, and composition wise, I think it looks lovely. Got a nice balance to it with the placement of the distant hills there, the shape of those, the placement of the two boats as well. The looks a little bit overworked in this area here. Maybe if this area here was a little bit lighter, I would say that would give you a little bit more impact. The two main boats are superb. The one with the blue cabin, the main white boat, we've got the figure there as well. With the buildings, I think they would look better if, to get that sunny day feeling, make the walls darker and make the rooftops lighter. That would work a little bit better, almost like you've got on that left-hand side there. The feeling of light there, you've got the light there on the beach, the stream there on the left-hand side, really nice reflections as well. Yeah, excellent job. Well done, Andrew. And Anna. Looks like we've got a creative element there of a lady with a wonderful hat for the shade. Nice composition. You've really got the feeling of light here with the bright rooftops and the shady walls. Yeah, good balance with the composition. We've got the two groups of boats there in the distance. That one there, that one there. With the boat here, with the blue cabin, I'm just wondering whether the cabin looks a little bit too much on the right-hand side. Maybe the cabin would be better placed about there. So just nudge it along to the left. The main boat here, that looks fantastic. The shape of it, leaning. Always nice to have a leaning boat like that when it's low tide. You've got that little boat there on the right-hand side as well. Beautifully placed. I assume it's a female figure with the hat. And also what's catching my eye is that little bit of glistening on the surface there. Yeah, well done. Thanks very much, Hannah. And then Barb. Very nice composition. You've moved the horizon up a little bit, which really works. We've got less of the sky, and then we've got more of that harbour and the reflections of the water to include in the composition. So nice composition. You've got the light hitting those rooftops as well. Nice shady walls also. The distant boats there on the left, and then the right. Nice connecting of the boats as well. The blue boat there, superb. Nice and symmetrical. Or maybe just wondering whether the bow should be a little bit like that. Maybe just a little bit more to the right, I think, with the position of that cabin there. Yeah, I think that would work a little bit better. Main boat here, fantastic. Maybe it could be a bit longer. Very nice figure coming in, perfect size, proportion. Distant figures as well on the quayside on there on the right. And then the algae, the seaweed covering that wall, that's a perfect green. And also the colours that you've got into the stream on the left-hand side. Well done, Barb, thank you. And Christy. Right, Christy's zoomed into the scene. Really good idea. And always when you look at photos, always think about kind of zooming in or panning across, cropping the scene, thinking, could you make it vertical? Could you make it more horizontal? Could you make it slightly squarish? But this is a nice sort of zoom in on the scene on that main boat We've got two figures working away. Maybe the mast is a little bit thin for a boat that size. Not sure, but I think if that mast was a little bit, yeah, a little bit thicker and taller. The distant buildings perspective, fantastic. I love the foliage beyond the buildings. This is what watercolor does. All these blooms and cauliflowers and the warm greens and the cool greens as well. Yeah, you really got the feeling of foliage up there. And then also just below the boat, the glistening on the surface, that light catching the harbour bed as the water's receding, and we're catching the light on tops of the materials on top of that harbour bed. Yeah, fantastic. And could the figures be a little bit larger? Not sure. But yeah, beautiful scene. Very creative with the composition. Fantastic. Well done, Christy. And then David. Let's just zoom in a little bit more. David's normal loose style, beautifully done, and nice composition. Now you've got the harbour sort of all joined there. There is here in this area here, there would be a little bit of a gap. So maybe we just have the light of the harbour wall going up to there, and then it's sort of continuing along that side, mainly on that right hand side there, where the harbour wall widens out. Boats are beautifully done. Really good boats, especially this main boat here. Two nice figures as well. Really loose, minimal brush marks. Lovely shadow and the reflections on this left-hand side of the retaining wall. Yeah, a nice sky as well. The blue leading to the yellow, without it going green. Well done, David. And Fritz. Oh, there's a lot going on here. I do like the detail of the buildings on the right-hand side there. First of all, then composition, nice balance to the boats. The boats are very well drawn. With this one on the left-hand side, maybe the right-hand side of the boat could be just a little bit like that. But apart from that, they look really good. The distant boats as well. The middle boats there also excellent. Maybe that one there might be a little bit too narrow, too slim. I think on that right hand side, a good strategy would be just to have horizontal boats, just basically some shapes there, giving you the impression of those boats with their cabins on top and different bits and pieces. Those buildings are beautiful. I like the way that you've done. It's almost like the light is coming from the left with that shadow there. But I do like the way you've done that. It's almost like a sort of sunny winter's day in a way, with that sky and the sort of cool color, or generally the cool color of the shadows on this side. Beautiful detail in that fish market there, and the figures, the car as well, different figures, there's loads of figures going on. Beautiful. Nice color of the harbour wall, beautiful reflections. That's a fantastic blue there. Not sure if it would be that blue. Maybe you could have gone a little bit blue with the sky to kind of complement, give context to that blue. But that's a fantastic blue. I do like that. And nice, the retaining wall, bit of splattering going on. Very nice indeed. Good perspective. Well done, Fritz. Thank you. And Hannah. Nice composition. I think it would help if you've got a little bit of a stronger horizontal line for the left-hand side of the harbour and the right-hand side of the harbour, just a little bit stronger. The perspective is nearly there. I think some of the houses looks like their rooftops are We can't really see their rooftops too well. The buildings there, they look good, Hannah, but maybe on the right-hand side, there could be some rooftops, something like that. And then just think about perspective as well, going up that right-hand side. So have that as a kind of line there, and we've got the horizontal of the harbour wall there. The boats look brilliant. This one especially, I do like that, with all the bits and pieces inside. That bit there, some sort of box there, a mast going up there. This one's a little bit lost. I think the cabin of this boat's a bit too big. So you've got the hull shape right there, but maybe just a slightly smaller, slightly narrower hull for that one. Very nice colour of the beach, the algae here, good green, nice shadow of that wall and the reflection as well. Lots of nice brush marks in this one. Left-hand background just a little bit overworked. That looks all right. The one, I think the background in the top right, Hannah, that looks better as sort of trees to me. Maybe in that being a little bit more distant, go a bit cooler. Less edges, make it simpler, all right, just to push it back. But fantastic, well done, lovely. I do like that main boat though, really nice. And you've got the propeller down there, nice shadow coming out. Excellent, well done, Hannah. And Helga, nice composition. I think like Barb, you've moved the horizon up a little bit, the harbour wall up a bit. Nice perspective with the building. You've got the light on the rooftops. Nice distant, nice greenery of the background trees. That especially on that left hand side, that's perfect. And on the right hand side as well. Nice grouping of boats. The main boat there, excellent. Maybe that the cabin is a little bit low. Perhaps it could be a tiny bit higher there, Helga, just a tiny bit higher. And the main boat here, brilliant. You've got the shape of that fantastically. Fantastic. Well, certainly looks symmetrical. Nice figure there on the right-hand side. Good algae, a good algae covered wall coming down that center portion, and then the stream coming out. The reflections look good as well. I like the way you've done those reflections with a mixture of hard and soft edges. That's come out really well. Yeah, fantastic. Well done. And also the way that you've done these little marks on the harbour wall, that gives you the impression of lots of people there on that right-hand side. Loads of people walking up and down. Well done, Helga. Thank you. And Janitha. Oh, very colourful. I do like that sky. Maybe the yellow is just a little bit too saturated, a bit too strong, but I do like it. And it sort of contrasts quite nicely that the warmth of the yellow with the blues as well. The warm and the cools was quite nice to have in a painting, as well as the contrast of light and dark, like for example the light of the boat there against the dark of the harbour. Nice composition. The perspective is good. Well done. Maybe is there a little bit of a, not sure if there's a little bit of a slope there. Maybe make that distant harbour wall a little bit more horizontal. Boats look good, especially the main boat there on the right. The figure, now with that figure, his head looks a little bit too big, maybe, and also it looks like he's leaning a little bit. So make the head a little bit smaller and possibly the torso a little bit more vertical. Nice reflections on here. Not sure about these dry brush marks there, Janitha, coming out of that kind of angle. I think they would look better if they were more horizontal, and possibly you could help with the perspective by making them narrower as you go down that channel. Yeah, nice sense of light, beautiful colours. Well done, Janitha. And Joe. Very good composition, nice sense of light. we've got a yellow truck with a fish logo on the side, obviously collecting produce from the fish market, which is this building here with the overhanging roof. Nice touch. Yeah, it really does sort of draw you in, that yellow truck. I like the way you've done those distant buildings. Kept them really simple, no windows. Would it have helped if you put in some very small light grey windows in there? Maybe. Nice distant hills there, lovely sky. The boats. Boat's really well drawn. I do like your main boat. Fantastic. The figure's good. Maybe it could be standing out just a little bit more. I'd be inclined we're looking into the light, maybe just a little bit more light on. It might be the resolution of Joe's photo, but just a little bit more light there, so that we've got the feeling of looking into the light. Possibly on these boys as well. Bit of light there, which would show up. You could use a bit of white gouache or white paint or something like that. And also this rope here, go white there against that darker background. But beautiful scene. Yeah, I do like that yellow truck. That's an excellent idea. Well done, Joe. Thank you. And Justin. Right, nice composition. Good perspective, certainly on the right-hand side. With the buildings on the left-hand side, maybe they could slope down just a little bit more like that. We're below those buildings, so they would slope down just a little bit more. But I do like the building. You've got the light, certainly. You've got the figures on the quay side. You've gone for, rather than groupings of boats, you've gone for sort of strategically placed individual boats, which I think works all right, works really well. We've got the main boat here. Well, the main boat here with the red and blue stripe. That is all right. With the back of the boat, maybe a little bit narrower. And it goes up just a little bit too much for this boat. Possibly the bow could be almost a little bit more horizontal, but apart from that, really does look good. Looks like it'll float, and that blue boat really good as well. Maybe the cabin could be a little bit more to the right as well. A little bit more to the right. Nice reflections, really good figure, just the right proportion also. Nice bit of sparkle on the water in this middle foreground. That's a really nice way that you've done the water on this left-hand side. The green there, mixture of edges, the blues, the warmer brown here where the water is shallower. Nice reflection shapes on that right-hand side. Yeah, that whole area down there, fantastic. Well done, Justin. Lillian. Oh, very nice. Very atmospheric. Maybe you've not gone for that bright sunny day, but all those edges there, exploiting what watercolor does, the bleeding of one shape into another, different colors for the houses. The overall composition is brilliant. You've got the perspective really well with the angle there and the angle there. Fantastic. The boats as well. Maybe we could have the feeling of some individual boats. Well, you've got some. No, you do have some there, but maybe I'm thinking, Lillian, in that area there where there might be, if you wanted to, some more boats in there, which will give context to that harbour wall and those ropes going over the right. The two boats in the foreground, brilliant. I love that red there. Don't care what it is, but it looks really nice. And the retaining wall going down the middle and the reflections there, lovely water on that left-hand side. The figure, well done by putting in a little bit of a sort of reflection in the wet surface there, which I guess you would get. And also very nice figures. I'm just beginning to see those very nice figures on that right-hand side. Yeah, fantastic. Thanks very much, Lillian and Liliana. Very colourful. nice composition. With the perspective, I think it would look better. It looks like you're looking down on the scene a little bit more. I think if that harbour was a little bit more horizontal and then go accentuate the angle of those buildings a little bit more, that would draw our eye down into the end of the harbour a little bit more. But other than that, beautifully done, lovely colours. That sky is fantastic. The blue of the shady walls. These main boats as well. Main boat there, fantastic. The boat with the blue cabin. Now that one there would look better if that window was a little bit slimmer, because that's on the side. So we've got the cabin coming up there. Two main windows, all right, and then a slimmer one there on that left-hand side. But beautiful colours, fantastic. The beach there, the shapes that you've got for the reflection, looks like there's a little bit of movement in the water. Figures as well on the harbour side. But I would say with those figures, try and make them a little bit smaller. That figure there to the right of the main boat, that's perfect size, and a really good figure. The proportion of the head, the torso, the legs. Those on the right hand side, maybe just a little bit smaller. Oh, I love fantastic guy there, resting on the bench. Which there are some benches there on the right hand side, which you can sit on a number of benches there, which you sit on, a popular place to sit, and then you glance over the harbour over to that left hand side. Yeah, excellent. Thanks, Liliana. Margaret, very nice. Oh, I love this light effect down here. The light hitting the water. Beautifully painted, nice composition, very accurately painted. You've taken a lot of time doing this, I can tell. Perspective is very good. Maybe you could get a little bit more light on those rooftops, but we got the light on that one there, really good. Excellent boats as well. The main boat, we've got the figure leaning over, working on the boat. It's got the ladders there as well, distant boats, and then the blue cabin boat. Again, maybe that cabin would look a little bit better, just a tiny bit smaller. Nice shadow of those two main boats, and then those soft reflections. Those reflections are fantastic. The light there of the buildings on the left hand side, but this glistening effect there, which you've just very carefully, I think, negatively painted around all of those white areas. Well done, Margaret and Mark. Very nice. Nice composition, nice balance to it. Lots of strong contrasts of the light versus the dark. We've got seagulls in the sky. Not sure if this is the first one where we've seen seagulls. The boats are really well drawn. Nice perspective. Good figures as well. That figure coming in from the right-hand side. Yeah, really good boats. Your left-hand boat looks a little bit too big compared to the right-hand boat. I still think you would make that right-hand boat just a little bit bigger. But nice two figures. My idea with the figure moving in, walking in from the right-hand side, but you've got the figure leaning over and working in the boat. Nice brush marks. We got a seagull. That's a perfect seagull. That sort of grey with a beak. Yeah, really good. Obviously hunting for some chips, fish and chips. Nice reflections in the water. I would, maybe I wouldn't use so much of the white paint here. And also try with these ropes. Those ropes there, they're good. That one there is really good. But some just a little bit too thick, all right? And also, where that light against the dark works there, but maybe here you could maybe make these lines a little bit darker. And then that one there as well, maybe make that one just a little bit darker. But beautiful scene, lovely colours. I do like your your seagull though. That's just a perfect seagull. Thanks very much, Mark and Mike. A nice, bold, bright watercolor. Very nice composition. I like the warmth that you've got into those distant trees. You've gone for more of a, maybe perhaps more of an autumnal, more autumn type time of the year. Nice, so nice composition, good perspective of the buildings, really good. That perspective is excellent. Loads of figures on the harbour side. Also a nice idea having light figures against a darker background, dark figures against a lighter background. Two very good boats as well, the distant boats, and there's two more people working here, looking at some crates or whatever, getting their produce out. Not sure, but yeah, really great idea. That's a nice balance actually, having those two figures just down that right hand side. But fantastic colours, really nice colours, and I like the autumnal feel to it as well. Well done, Mike and Min. Nice composition. Perspective is very good on that right-hand side. On the left-hand side, I wouldn't, with some of these buildings, I wouldn't add in these dark lines to show the edge of the rooftop, for example. I think it's a little bit too dark there on the left-hand side, and maybe in some place on the right-hand side. Just let the difference in the contrast, the light versus dark, the warm versus cool, actually show you where one object or one shape or one object up against another. Nice figures across the harbour side. There's a running figure there. Lovely boats as well. This harbour wall is going up a little bit too much. This line here going a little bit too much. Maybe it ended about there would be good. Not that extended bit there. But really nice boats, excellently done. Nice light, lovely soft reflections. Fantastic. This whole left-hand side here is really good, Min. Beautiful. So many colours going on. Edges, shapes as well. Bit of movement in the water over here. Yeah, well done, Min. Thank you. And Nino. Lively. I think your photo, I bet your painting's a lot lighter than this, but the photo looks a little bit dark. You've gone for a different composition, a bit like Christy. You've sort of zoomed in on that right-hand side, but we've got more going on here. This is more, I would say, line and wash technique, where Nino has defined all of the main elements with pen or ink. Nice composition. Then you've gone on with the lighter wash to give you the colours and the values of the different elements. But beautiful building in the background. The boats as well, excellent. The two figures. With the figures, maybe I would ease off on the white paint there, Nino. I'm not sure if I said that before, but yeah, just to ease off on the white paint. It would be okay if you had a little bit of it on the top of the head and then maybe some of the shoulders, but not down the side there. And also with the figures, with the white paint, you've got like this guy on the right-hand side. You've got the dark of the left-hand side, then that white line, then more of the dark again. So try and make the light, if you're using it as a highlight, make sure it's against a dark background and don't have that kind of continuation on there. But beautiful, lively interpretation of Polperro. Fantastic. Yeah, thanks, Nino. Nydia. Nice composition. I do like your figures strolling down the promenade there. Really good. Nice composition, really good composition on the right-hand side. Good attention to detail as well. I like the way you've done those distant boats there, those three boats looking towards us. You've got the cabins in there. They're sort of staring ominously at us. Nice boats on the right-hand side, two main boats, beautifully done, especially the bigger white boat there as well. Yeah, good reflections also. You've captured that there on that left-hand side with that left-hand shape there, and then the reflection below that, really well done. And then the reflections on the left-hand side as well, really good. The green, the blue, lots of nice soft edges. But that reflection there, I think, is fantastic. The way you've done those three boats, really good. Well done, Nydia. And Anthony, yes, you've moved. I can see you've moved the horizon up a little bit. That looks really nice. Nice composition, perspective-wise. Yeah, we're looking good. Maybe you've got a bit of a slope down this left-hand side here. Maybe that could be just a bit more horizontal, and then increase the angle of the rooftops on that right-hand side, just to enforce the viewer looking down that row. Boats look good. Distant one, the middle group, main boat. Yes, that looks good as well. Now the boat, the small boat with the blue cabin. Right, I think that needs to have a little bit of adjustment. So if we go with this side here, the left-hand side, and where the cabin is right now, maybe it just needs to go to around about there, the bow, and then that little bit, that little slither of the right-hand side we can see. I think that would look a little bit better like that. So if we could amend it, we would just bring in the right-hand side of the cabin just a bit, and then move the bow a little bit further forward, make it a bit more symmetrical. Good figure. Yeah, the figure's all right. Just in the right place. Maybe it could be a tiny bit bigger, possibly. And then reflections, very nice indeed. Just be careful, a little bit of overworking there where you got the light bit. Just try and keep the white of the paper, if you can, would be best for the reflections. And the left-hand side here, very nice. I like these little ripples going down. Gentle ripples going down. Yeah, well done. Thanks very much, Anthony. And Sally. Well, it looks very loose, very fresh. Nice composition. Perspective is brilliant. Very, very good. I've got the horizontal quayside, the right angle of the buildings on the right, and then the retaining wall going down into the harbour. I like the way you've done the reflections. Yeah, very loose. Nice sort of mixture of hard and soft edges, bit of dry brush there. Kind of exploiting the surface of the paper there. Boats. Yeah, boats look all right. I'm not sure if the blue cabin might be just a little bit too big. I think it would look better a little bit shorter, but the hull looks brilliant, and the main boat as well. Oh, you've got the figure in the boat, very appropriate, and I can see a couple of figures there on the quay side. Yeah, very nice. Lovely way that you've done the reflections there. Nice sky as well. And Sarrow. Well, very bold, clear, bright watercolor. Very good perspective. Excellent perspective. You've got all the angles perfectly right with the buildings, especially the buildings on the right-hand side there, and they're on the left. Yeah, so nice overall composition, beautiful sky, blue going into the yellow, nice background trees, just the right shade of value of green, nice cool green, pushes it back. Boats, distant boats, and our middle boats, and the main boats. Now, this main boat here, maybe it could be just a little bit longer. It looks a bit too high, and also I think that far side of the boat would look better with a straighter edge. And then, yes, so maybe extend it just a bit more with the height of that boat. Extend it a bit more, and then the bow comes up a little bit like that. Then I think that would look a bit better on that main boat there. And then the smaller boat with the blue cabin, yeah, very good indeed. That looks perfect. And the ropes, yeah, very good with the ropes. I would guess with the ropes, try not to make it too evenly spaced. Maybe introduce a few more sort of random cables there, wires going down, ropes going down to the boats. Also, maybe here we could have a bit of a dark line there. A sort of dark line against the lighter background, make it stand out just a bit more. Great figure. And the treatment of the reflections, brilliant, like it. And the retaining wall here as well. That's really nice. You've got some impact of that wall going in. And the colours on the top of that wall with the seaweed and the sort of brown stony wall, at the edge of those reflections. Bit of dry brush here on the beach. Great figure. Yep, well done, Saro. And Vicente, I think Vicente's the last one, so thanks very much. Vicente, beautiful painting, lovely composition. You've got a nice strong line where they're the horizontal of the harbour wall. The perspective is very good as well. Nice boats also. Maybe with the main boat, it looks like it's pointing up a little bit. I think with the hull, you've got the top of the hull there, but maybe just come down here a little bit lower with the bow there. And then nice figure also, beautiful colours in the foreground, lots of greens and reds and blues. Nice reflections down that left-hand side also. Yeah, well done, Vicente. Thanks very much indeed. So if you'd like to take a part in my workshops, then go over to timwilmotartist.com or go to my event website, crowdcast.io/@timwilmot. You can still take part in previous workshops and still get an individual critique from me. But to attend the live demo, try and attend live on the day. But a recording is made for you, and you can watch that recording as many times as you want to, and then submit your painting for an individual critique. So thanks very much, all of you, for those of you that you sent in your paintings from my May workshop, and very much looking forward to painting with you on the next one. Thanks very much indeed.